Greetings on this good Saturday morning, June 18th, 2022, as we embark on this celebratory weekend, coined Juneteenth by those who finally got their physical freedom in Texas, Galveston, Texas, to be exact, 2 years after it was written into these books they have around here called law books or something like that. But as always, a celebration of life, a celebration of the option of choosing a perspective and not having to just go with the ways that go against your natural flow of life. This Western world has us so upside down. It's just not it's just not right at all to take the ideas that we have about ourselves from people who literally snatched us from ourselves, who promote chaos and fear and lack and hate with a smile. So this piece spoke to me because this man, Adisa Ajamu, this Black psychologist, this thinker, puts forth words and he just lets you know that you have a choice. I grew up like a lot of people in America. Okay, there's only one right way of thinking, of being, but being exposed to people like Dr. John Henrik Clark of Hunter College and Dr. Marimba Ani, and just is so many that I'm thankful that I was exposed to. And now I have an understanding that there is an African-centered way of being, and I am so very thankful for that, knowing, that remembering, that holistically healthy way of being. But I can see things now and know that that's that's not for my African self to be involved with. And so this piece was written a couple of days ago, and it speaks to freedom. Very interesting understanding of how we came to think about freedom in this place called America. Here it is. So it's a very short piece, and it's a Facebook post from one of the people I do follow. I don't have like a big social media presence on Facebook, but the ones that I do connect with are people of intrigue and substance and joy and goodness and a lot of African-centeredness, because we have to connect. Well, not we have to. I choose to connect to African-centered thinking to bring harmony to my spirit, to my life, to my being. And so this was written by Adisa Ajamu. He is a Black psychologist located in California. And he was speaking to a trip that he made to Oakland recently to be a keynote speaker for a group of educators at the Umoja Faculty Institute. And he said that the topic of his talk was entitled, "Which Way is Up?" Centering our perspectives in an African consciousness. So when I saw that title, I was like, yeah, this is about to be another another good insight. And so this is what he wrote. My thesis was that not only did the Ma'afa, the African enslavement, kidnap and incarcerate African peoples, it incarcerated and colonized our time and space, our temporal and spatial orientation. In ancient Kemet, people of Kemet had a temporal and spatial orientation that would seem odd to us. They had an orientation of south being up and the north being down. They described the Nile as flowing down north. To get a sense of the disorientation we might feel, imagine you're in Atlanta and you want to head to DC, and the person talking to you says, "Have a good time. I love going down north." Temporal and spatial orientation are critical for understanding one's location and one's connection, sense of place, sense of belonging. When one loses their temporal and spatial awareness, they not only become disoriented, in certain instances, they can suffer from a sensory deprivation. Some folks experienced this during the early phases of the pandemic. In short, they don't know what time it is, where they are, where they belong, or how they got there. What I suggested is the Ma'afa did more than kidnap Africans and disperse us for labor and profit. They incarcerated our reality, our world, and then turned it upside down. And now we are disoriented because we don't know which way is up or what time it is, and we are increasingly becoming sensory deprived. African diasporan cultures and our histories are our clocks and compass. They correctly orient us if we are willing to be Sankofa, do Sankofa. As Dr. John Henry Clark used to say, history is a compass that locates us on the geography of human history. The thing about having no sense of time while being lost and disoriented is eventually you become so disconnected from yourself individually and collectively that you end up becoming a ghost haunting yourself. Which way is up? Bantu people, which comprised estimates as high as some 40% of Africans brought to the United States, had some ideas about this, and it had a bit to do with the Kalunga line, how we in this country, America, came to associate baptism and submersion and coming face to face with God. But that's another post. You ever ask yourself, why is a black cat bad luck? Why not an alabaster cat, a white cat, or those cats that look like they should be holding a "will work for food" sign? You know those cats with no hair, skin, those cats. Or why the number 13 is considered unlucky, but not for the founding of 13 colonies, or Jesus and his 12 disciples, or for 12 months, with the 13th month being about birth and regeneration? Which way is up? If you can't answer that question, you might find yourself running towards slavery, but thinking you're running towards freedom. That was deep. That was deep. finding ourselves running towards slavery and thinking we're running towards freedom. Thanks, Adisa. So within that reading, he did offer a compass. He said we have to be willing to do Sankofa, to be Sankofa. 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 Now, I could give you a definition of the word, but if you're looking for an African-centered way of being, of moving forward, of reorienting yourself with an African center rather than the center of those who snatched you from your Africanness and like to keep up chaos and fear and a sense of lack and a sense of we're alone in this world. I don't want to learn about freedom from people like that, because I'll never be free if I continue in that way of thinking, in that perspective of seeing this thing called life. But Sankofa, yeah, if you're looking for a way to move forward towards freedom rather than continued slavery, look it up. Ashe.